Hello guys, welcome to Core Academy. Guys, in this video we'll be talking about a very important concept in sociology, and that is the concept of sociological point of view. You cannot understand what sociology is and you cannot understand the various concepts of sociology unless you understand what exactly is sociological point of view. If you understand this, then you will be able to understand the various theories of sociology very easily. Okay, so let's start off. But before we move on to exact definition and examples, we need to have an understanding of basic things. So these key things are that key things in sociology are that people are first and foremost a social being. Okay, they cannot survive without interacting with each other. Man is a social animal. Secondly, people live in groups. Of course, individuals cannot survive. They have to interact with other. For example, kids have to live with parents to survive. Small kids, they need to be taken care of. Similarly, you need to interact with guys in school. Otherwise, you will not be able to even survive, let alone be a cultured human being. Secondly, you're constantly exposed to social interaction with others. Okay, these are the realities of a society in which you live. What are these? That you are a social being, you like living with other people, you live in groups, and you are constantly exposed to social interaction with others. So sociology is best defined as the scientific study of social interaction. So as we just saw that you live in groups. Okay, you are a social animal and you interact with people on day to day, on daily basis. Now these are the facts in every society. So sociology is the exact study of that social interaction, but it's not like a common sense study, it's a scientific study. And what do we mean by scientific study? It means that you have to apply various various phenomena, like carrying out research experiments to study as to why a certain thing is as it is. Okay, you don't just take things for granted. Like if there is crime in society, okay, if there is high divorce rate in a society, if there is suicide in society, you don't just take it for granted. You try to study them scientifically. Okay, by scientifically we mean that you collect data and you test various hypotheses and you come up with conclusions. Okay, as to why is there high suicide rate in a society, why is there high divorce rate in a society, why is there high crime in a society. Okay, so sociology is all about scientific study of social interaction. Now, what are the objectives of sociology? The objectives are to enable people to live intelligently in their social world. Now, of course, in a social world, in a society, there can be various problems. The objective of society is to understand those problems, what are the causes of those problems, and then come up with the solutions to those problems. So that will enable you to live intelligently in a social world. Okay, so another objective is like you to deal with people. Excuse me. Okay, we're back. So another objective is to deal with problems people encounter, uh, especially during conflict and social change. Okay, like when there's a revolution, people come across various problems, suicide bombers, for example, or anything else. So the sociologists need to find the solutions to those problems. Okay, their insights are very important for the policymakers. Moving on. So this activity is very important. Okay, this will help you understand what sociology is exactly. Okay, so stay with me for a while. Assume that you are part of a 10-member group that is shipwrecked on a deserted tropical island. The island has a plentiful supply of wild fruits and plants, insects, birds, fish, and hardwood trees. Some fresh water can be found in small island pools, but the bulk of the water is contaminated from salt from the ocean. Your group had time to rescue the following items. So before shipwreck, your group was, so these are the things present in the island, but your group had some time to collect following things from the ship, and those were two large fishing knives, and remember that there's lots of fish in the island, four plastic gallon jugs of water, So you only have two fishing knives, but you were 10 people in the ship. So 10 people and two knives. You had lots and lots of a lot of the water is polluted with salt. It's salt water, and you only have four plastic gallon jugs of water. Okay, this means that you have limited supply of water. You have limited supply. You can store the water limited. You have 125 feet rope. Okay, and how you can use it? Well, you can use it by collecting fruits and all those things, but we will see it in later. A large plastic trap, a set of binoculars, a can opener, 20 cans of fruits and vegetables. So these are the things which you have. And moving on, now what you need to do, you should establish a list of rules, procedures, and task assignments that would allow the group to survive on the island indefinitely. So you have limited resources with you, like limited knives and all those things. Whereas island has plenty of them. You don't have any salt. You don't have clean drinking water. So in order to survive, you need to make rules as to who will go for the fishing, who will go for the fresh water, okay, who will hunt in the forest, who will collect fruits. So you need to have some rules to survive in a society, in a small society of 10 people in the island. So each group will share their list. So this is an activity. You don't have to worry about it here, but in order to survive in that group, when we will call it a society of 10 people, you have to have certain rules. Otherwise all of the people in the society will perish. Those 10 people will not be able to survive. So that exactly is what society is, a collection of people with rules and procedures, and sociology is all about studying that society. Now remember that for society to operate efficiently, members must work together toward common goals, and their goal in our case is survival. Okay, to ensure that most people cooperate for the common good, and common good is survival and health. In our case, societies establish rules of conduct and expectations of behavior. So once you set the rules, then there are expectations. For example, for Mr. X, the group set the rule that he will go for fishing. Now you will not have to tell him every day that you have to go for fish. For example, the next day in the dinner, at the dinner time, people will other 9 people will expect that Mr. X will bring 10 fish or 8 fish, whatever he collected. So this is the expectation of others from Mr. X based on the rules he is assigned. Okay, so that is also what society is all about. It's about making rules and then making expectations of people based on those rules, and that is the work of sociology, to study those rules so that society can perform efficiently. Now the sociological point of view, now it will be easier for you to understand this very important concept. Okay, so once again, a few definitions before you understand it. Remember, sociology is the science that studies human society and social behavior. Okay, of course this much is obvious. Social interaction is how people relate to one another and influence each other's behavior. So society is the science that studies human society, how people live, how they behave, whereas social interaction is how people relate to one another. When they interact with one another, when they come across each other, how they relate to one another. For example, those 9 people regard Mr. X as one who is a fisherman. He goes for fishing. So they expect that whenever there is a problem, food shortage, he is the go-to guy who have the expertise in fish. Okay, so that is how they relate to Mr. X. All the 9 people relate to Mr. X and how they influence each other's behavior. Now Mr. X will, of course, his behavior will also be influenced. He will think that, okay, I have to be perfect at fishing because my objective, my responsibility in the society of those 10 people is to make sure that there is fish available every time. So he will try to make him as good at fishing as possible. And what is a phenomenon? It is observable fact or event. Okay, so something which can be observed. It's not like your feelings, for example. Okay, what are you thinking right now? That's not a phenomenon. Whereas if you see somebody laughing, then that is a phenomena. It's an event, it's an observable fact. Okay, just to give you an example. Now the purpose of sociological objective is to gain new view or perspective for looking at ourselves and the world. For example, if you see a family of people, okay, there are one, two, three, 4 people. and they are very poor. Okay, now you once, of course, it will come to your mind that they are poor because they are not smart enough, they are not intelligent. Okay, and they sort of they are not willing to succeed in life. Okay, so you will blame them probably, but that is not what a sociologist would do. Okay, and that is exactly what is a sociological perspective. So sociologists think to sociological perspective. Sociologists will not blame those individuals, okay, for their poverty. No, he will look at macro causes, something that can him relate their poverty to the world. So sociologists will see the society as a whole, and they will see that, okay, on the whole there is unemployment is going up in the society. Okay, unemployment is going up in the society, the economy is contracting, the economy is the manufacturing is low in the society. Okay, and there is limited capital in the society, so there is unemployment going up. So that is the reason why there is poverty in that family. Okay, so this is exactly what it is. Sociological perspective is about gaining new view or perspective for looking at ourselves, in our case the family, and the world. In the world is unemployment. Okay, so that is what sociological perspective is all about. Common sense versus scientific fact. Of course, you common sense would say that they are poor because they are not smart enough. Okay, but scientific fact would say, and this is what sociologists rely on, that there is high unemployment in the society. Sociological perspective helps us see better. Okay, objectively. For example, you see the condition of a poor family, then you can see it better and objectively by looking the society as a whole, by applying sociological perspective. It gives us insight, of course, and the world as a whole. Insights, it gives us insight into the world as a whole. It Sociological perspective gives us connection between the larger world and our personal lives. Okay, and that exactly is called sociological imagination. C. Wright Mills gave this concept. Okay, we have to remember this name also. C. Wright Mills gave the concept of sociological imagination. It is about making a connection between the larger world and our personal lives. If somebody is poor, then you don't have to blame him. If you are going to blame him, then that is the ambit of psychology and not sociology. Okay, psychology is looking at individuals, sociology is about macro thing. Okay, if you are observing a personal phenomena of an individual, you have to look at larger world as to what are the impacts of the larger world, as a result of which he has a particular condition, he is a poor, for example. And that exactly is what sociological perspective. It is a broad perspective, it is a macro perspective. You are trying to explain behavior of people, small events, in the light of bigger picture. I hope this video clarified your concept as to uh, what exactly is a social perspective. In the next video, we'll be talking about sociology's place in the social sciences, what are social sciences, and how are other social sciences different from sociology. For more videos, do subscribe to Co Academy.